Hi guys. Just finished the gym and someone just asked me who's running a 50K a month agency in the real estate niche just asked me like, hey, I want to figure out how to scale my business. Can you recommend books? Can you recommend podcasts? I said, I don't personally read books, but I asked him, hey, what is your goal? And his goal was, hey, I want to get to 500K per month. And I asked him, how many people do you know are making 500K per month with the agency model below 25 years old? Right? He was like zero. So I wanted to kind of like dive deep a little bit into the reason why it is hard for you to scale an agency business. And I'd love to also talk about the coaching and consulting / info business because it also has issues with the model that makes it so that most people who move to coaching or consulting don't stay or remain alive in that industry. So I have dishes that I gotta clean. I don't even want to show you guys. And I just bought food. So I'm gonna cook this up because it has more leverage than to have me cleaning the dishes. Okay, so let's get to work. So the number one thing I want you to understand is that making money, a lot of it, is a function of leverage. It is not a function of being smart. It is not a function of being hardworking whatsoever. Because what you have to understand is that what's important isn't just making money. It is how soon do you make the money in your lifetime. If I wanted to make $500,000 a month or $500,000 a year when I'm 50 years old, I could go get a job and I could get to a point where I make that in a decade. But I was able to go from a 30K a month agency owner in June of 2021 to making $500,000 a month in December of 2022. How is that possible? How is it possible for me to go from the same human 1 year to the next? I'm earning over almost 20x the amount of money per month. And we're not talking about going from 3K a month times 20. We're saying $30,000 a month times 20 times, or 20x 30K a month, right? Which brings us to 600K a month, which is what I ended up doing, I believe, in we did over, actually I'm going to show you guys real quick. This was my P&L in December of 2022, right? This was my first over $500,000 cash collected. I did $558,000 and I took home $335,000 in profit. So how do I go from making 30 grand a month to making $335,000 a month in profit? The answer lies in leverage. So let me go into what I want to show you guys. All right, the problem with the agency model, I'm going to show you guys how low leverage this model is. Now, if you're starting out in business, please start with agency model, do services, all that good stuff, so you can learn the ropes and get to a point where you can play bigger games, okay? So check this out. We're going to start with leverage in, let's say, 4 areas. I'm not going to talk into many more areas than this. We're going to look at the leverage when it comes to your offer. We're going to look at leverage when it comes to your pricing. We're going to look at leverage when it comes to acquisition, client acquisition. We're going to look at leverage when it comes to fulfillment. And then we're going to stop here for a second, okay? Because you could look at this in plenty different areas of your business. The problem with the agency model that you guys have here, so you can think of an advertising agency, a appointment setting agency. You can think of a Twitter agency. You can think of really any model where all you're doing is arbitraging human capital, okay? Where it's either human capital or technology. The problem with this, the offer, is that it loses probably the most amount of points when it comes to their offer, 20 points of leverage. It loses minus 20 points of leverage. And the reason why this is the case is because it lacks uniqueness. You're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. When you're doing something else that everybody is doing, selling the same thing as everybody else, guess what? It also impacts your pricing. So you also lose here 10 points of leverage. If something isn't unique, if something isn't hard to come by, it becomes what? It becomes what you call commodity. So Here, you're forced to charge commodity prices. You can think of all the advertising agencies. Literally, when you think of advertising agency, I expect $2,000 a month. When I think of appointment setting agency, most appointment setting agencies are going to charge 2 to 3K per month. When you think about content agencies, they're going to charge 2K per month, right? So it's almost like it's enough income for just one employee in a company. And the reason why they're charging so low is because what they're doing can be found so effortlessly on Upwork, Fiverr. You get people reaching out to you, you get cold DMs. So it's like you lose a lot of leverage because what you're selling isn't unique. Now, here is the other problem. You also lose here leverage in client acquisition. And the reason why you lose leverage is because everybody today is using things like ads. Everybody has already used cold outreach. Everybody has already done cold email. Everybody has already done what? Loom outreach. Everybody has already done a bunch of this stuff, okay? So you're selling a non-unique offer on in a commodity price, and you're left with the fact that you don't even have enough margins to afford scale, to afford to acquire enough attention to make a lot of money. Because here's something that you guys don't understand. You guys keep hearing me say, oh, you need to build a growth infrastructure, something that you can charge for a premium. And you guys don't understand that that also impacts your client acquisition. Because if you're charging 2K per month, how the hell do you afford $1,000 CAC, cost to acquire a client? How can you afford $1,000 CAC when you're only charging $2,000 a month? You have to remember that you haven't even paid for fulfillment. You haven't even paid for your own Porsche. You haven't paid for a penthouse, right? So how are you going to live? How are you going to live on $2,000 a month? It is impossible, okay? So you lose leverage because the market has become sophisticated. They've already been reached out to so many times by people selling the same thing as you. But not only that, you also don't have enough profit margins to afford attention, to afford content, to afford a lot of ads, and not have to worry about, oh, what's the cost per lead? What's the cost per booked call? You don't have to worry about that. If you're playing a game where you're unique and you have premium prices, who cares what the cost to acquire a client is? Okay? But the worst of them all is fulfillment. You're essentially just selling time. You're just selling other people's time. That's all you're doing. You're literally arbitraging people. So it doesn't matter if you're charging 10 grand a month for your team's time, for your expertise, you're still selling time. There is no leverage on fulfillment. So here, it is so bad. You probably lose minus 50 points of leverage. Here is where it gets really bad. Minus 50 points of leverage. And this is where, because the Parker asked me, he's like, hey, when you were making 30K a month, what made you, what were you thinking to kind of like shut down the business and go into a more leveraged model where you essentially sell productized infrastructures? Well, to be honest, what I thought about is, okay, let's say I want to scale the Done For You agency to 300K a month. I was making 30K a month. I want to scale it to 300K per month. So you're telling me that I'm running an appointment setting business where I have VAs. I had back then maybe 13, 14 VAs working on 22, 25 businesses, doing outreach for them. I was charging so low, it was sad. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that in order for me to get to 300K a month, I need to 10x the team size. I need to 10x the clients, which would mean that I would be working with 250 businesses. And they all come to me yapping about, oh, outreach isn't working. My Loom isn't working. Can you review this? Can you review that? I'm like, oh my God, it is insane. So it wouldn't have worked. And that's why most people who are running really big agencies are old. Because it's not that you can't scale the done for you agency to 300K per month or 500K a month. It's just that it is going to take so much time and so much management that it's not going to be worth your time. It is not going to be worth your while. It is not going to be worth your life. So for me, I looked at who's making 300K per month. I realized that all had somewhat of a productized offer, something that was leveraged, something that was unique to them, something they were charging $10,000 plus upfront, something that I'm going to show you guys how you actually acquire leverage in these areas shortly. But really, here you just have a job. It is just that instead of you just being the only employed person, you're employing 10 humans, 50 humans, 100 employees. So you're just trading time. You're just trading time. You're just trading time for money. Trading time for money. You may be making 2K per month per client and get 10 clients, so you're making 20K a month, but you're still giving that 20K, a piece of it, to employees. You're keeping some of it. So technically, you're selling your time to those 10 clients. So the problem with the agency model is that I feel like you can't outrun. Have you guys ever seen the TV show Flash, where he runs so fast that he goes into another universe or another time lapse? I feel like the agency model, you can never outrun time. You can never outrun work. You can never, because you're selling your time. You're selling retainers every month. You're selling 30 days at a time. So it is really, really hard for you to get enough clients for you to get so rich so fast and experience these type of returns. The reason why I would never have dreamed of making guys, do you understand? Making $500,000? It is insane. I never dreamed it. I never wanted it. I never in my heart thought I could do it. I genuinely did it because of leverage. And here is what the leverage I had. The first thing that I did was I needed something unique. So I put together everything that I was doing for my clients on the done for you appointment setting. Okay? And instead of just selling appointments, I wanted to figure out a way to bridge the gap, which I did with the build and release. So I realized that everybody was just selling appointment setting. I was like, you know what? I'm going to solve your offer. I'm going to take care of lead gen. I'm going to take care of appointment setting. I'm going to give you the VAs internally. You don't have to pay me anything. Okay? And I'm going to solve the sales process for you. Can you give me 10K upfront? Can you give me 15 grand upfront? What this does is I can now start running a little faster. It's almost like I'm going to be faster than time. And I can almost like become the Flash and be able to close so many. It's not that I close more clients. I did not close more clients than when I had a done for you agency. From May to June, I closed exactly the same amount of clients. I think if you count this up, it's 10 clients. These 10 clients made you 25K a month. The same 10 clients were worth the same 10 clients in that month were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not that I worked harder. I had what? More leverage. On the infrastructure that I was selling, it allowed me to charge a premium. Okay? Uniqueness is leverage. Money collected up front is leverage. And the next thing, which is something that we're working on, which is this growth creator funnel, is the following. The way that I would acquire clients was through content. I would content and outbound. Okay. So I use this kind of like growth creator funnel. I'm going to show you guys to create engaged and educated leads. And this allowed me to not need a lot of appointments to make a lot of money. Because every single person who would be booked on a call already wanted to buy, already knew what the price was. So essentially what this created is efficiency in acquisition, right? While everyone had to go run, spend a lot of money on ads, do so much, all I did was create a bunch of process videos on YouTube. I would also do outreach and get people to consume my YouTube content and be like, hey, would you like this system in your business? And they'd be like, yes, let's book a call. I really want it. And boom. So it's this idea of essentially creating embracing the creator economy. People are only buying from people they like. Nobody's buying from people that reached out to them, cold outreach. No, you got to generally give value. Give value. Okay. So essentially, you can call it having a personal brand. You can call it having an education business, a free education business, top of funnel, right? Where you're giving people something they want, so therefore you're getting their attention and owning them as an audience, and not having to pay the cost of leads and appointments of the 3% of the marketplace that just wants to buy right now. So I was able to go to the marketplace and create so much awareness that I was able to tap into not just the 3%, but the 5% and the 6% and 10%. So while everybody was running on ads or cold email, competing for the 3% of the marketplace that wants the service, I was using content to create my ideal clients. And that's how you make $550K a month. And look at the advertising. I only spent $2,000, $700. That's what you call leverage. 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 I'm going to keep saying this until you guys understand this. I swear to God, if you guys just understand this one lesson, you don't need to be a genius. Understand leverage. Can you get something while working infinitely less than everybody else? That's how you win in life. So your business model has to allow you to have the most amount of leverage. Okay? It's not the easiest business model. It is the model where you can do things that most people can't do, therefore gaining leverage. And the beauty about this idea of building and releasing infrastructures or systems, something you build once and you can release infinite amount of times into companies, is that, well, exactly that. You build once and release 50 times a month into companies, into 50 companies, into release 50 to 50 clients per month. That's it. When we made $500K a month, we had seven people in fulfillment. And what does that tell you? A lot of freaking leverage. Okay? The agency model, unfortunately, has the least amount of leverage of all business models. It's literally the same as having a job. It's just that instead of you going and apply on Indeed for a job, hey, I have a degree in communication. Oh, I have a degree in arts. Oh, I have a degree in yapping. Please employ me for $3,000 a month. Please employ me for $5K a month. You're just going to the marketplace and saying, hey guys, I have people that can yap. I have people that have a degree in communication. I have a degree in people that can do art. Can you pay me $2,000 a month, which is infinitely cheaper than when you hire this talent in your business, and then we're going to do the work for you. That is literally it. It is literally, instead of thinking of an agency model, think of getting a job model. Oh my God. So, guys, stop getting, hey, listen, you just quit your job. Please go get a bunch of people working under you and go give them a job. That's good. That's more leverage than being employed and selling your time. So you just went up a point of leverage. But the next level of leverage, and that's why I want you to understand, guys, I don't really care about selling you guys into build and release. That's not what I care about. What I care about is you guys being able to think in first principles. First principles, which is the more leverage you have in your business on the offer, and in the offer it means not everybody else can do it. If less people can do what you can do, you have more leverage on offer. Great job. That's why I always tell people, become more sophisticated. Don't just sell appointment setting. Don't just sell leads. Because the moment you sell something that's so easy to sell, that everybody is doing, you become commoditized. Boom, you lose all the leverage. You literally go back to the point of just getting a job. Okay? That's why we sell infrastructures. Something that is an infrastructure. It's made up of a bunch of variables, a bunch of components. It's not simple. Okay? So when you guys keep asking me, hey, what is an infrastructure? What is an infrastructure? I don't know. It's something that I don't understand either. Okay? I'm joking. But essentially, the more sophisticated the offer, the more leverage, You also have on pricing. So you charge a premium. When I was selling VAs, appointment setting, is it that you can't get a VA? You literally could go on onlinejobs.ph or on Upwork on Fiverr to get a VA from the Philippines by just literally spending 5 minutes looking, or $90 subscriptions. So how did people pay me $15,000 upfront? It's because I had put a sequence of variables. I had figured out not just the VA. My job wasn't, hey, let me get you a VA. No, it was, I'll validate your offer, which required me to be smart enough to understand their market better than they understand it themselves. I needed to understand how to convert leads once they paid us attention, which is by being able to build really great process selling VSL, okay? And I needed to also be able to train a lot of VAs at scale, train them, vet them, qualify them, turn them into legends. And I needed to be able to get a client and in 7 days be able to place a trained VA on their campaign, on their niche, and be able to, who can get to work and get them the right outcomes. So it was not just, it was the difference between, oh, well, I can teach you to go on onlinejobs.ph to go get a VA, or in 7 days, I can get you what you want. So you don't even have to understand what language the VA speaks. You don't even have to meet them. You should meet them, but you don't need to, but they're going to get to work. It's the efficiency. It's the speed. It is the effortlessness of experiencing what they want. People do not want to work. So literally the difference between do it yourself and I can do it for you was divide 15K by $90 subscription a month on onlinejobs.ph. That's how much value it is when you can get someone to what they want right away by just implementing the thing, okay? And then by leveraging this content outbound system, today we use ads and content and community to essentially experience efficiency. We're calling it the growth creator funnel, okay? If you need that implemented in your business, by the way, if you're struggling by just leveraging some sophisticated, outdated, where nobody wants to pay attention to you, funnels, please fill out the type form below. I'm gonna send you some good stuff. And then on the back end, I had so much leverage because I had built the protocol once and we had other ways to train VAs at scale in a leverage way. So again, the key thing here that I want you guys to understand is look at your current business. And I want you to rate yourself in points of leverage. Are you up or are you down? And if you want to experience your dream life, okay? If you want to live the life you want, for me, it was, I'll show you guys. For me, it was genuinely, can I make my first $10,000 a month in January of 2021, okay? And can I just validate how to sell something? That was it. That was literally all I cared about. And can I get more clients? And then I started making multiple six figures a year, but then I was like, oh my God, this car in my background cost $500K cash. I'm like, ain't no way at this rate am I going to be able to even make sense of buying this car. Because if I'm making $400K a year after tax, that's like $200K. And that's not even my income. That was the business revenue. I still have to pay my team. So I'm probably going to be left making $100K a year. How am I going to make sense of working at $100K a year, save for 5 years? That's if I don't spend anything. That's if I still live in the basement. I still clean the dishes at home. I still literally live with my family. That's if I saved every single penny that I would make with my agency to be able to afford this car, and 5 years of my time waste saving money. Are you kidding me? 5 years. Some people go 10 years saving money. Some people go 20 years saving money, all to be able to enjoy this car at 50 years old, 60 years old, at 70 years old. Are you kidding me? I don't want to get a Porsche GT2 RS at 70 years old. What's the point of it? Where am I going to take my lady on a date at 70 years old? Am I going to drift the car? She's going to be like, hey, don't kill us, right? I don't want to live life at 70 years old, 80 years old. I want it next year. So the difference between being able to wait 50 years to get in this car and make sense of spending this kind of money on a car, it's stupid. Never buy cars like this. It's stupid. I bought it, but it is what it is. But the difference between me either waiting 10 years to be able to afford this car or being able to afford it in a month worth of payroll or in a month worth of income and literally be able to buy it every month was leverage. Leverage. So when you guys want to figure out, like, why should I switch? Or well, I don't know. If you want to just live a life where you make $5K a month and your expenses are $3K a month and you save $2,000 a month and it takes you 100 years to be able to afford a new car or be able to afford your sweet 16's a baby girl, daughter or son's birthday, that's cool with me. But I want to be able to treat who I love to the most beautiful things of life. And I don't want to have to be like, hey, I wasn't smart enough to chase more leverage. It's not hard. I feel like so many people complicate it, like, oh, you need to do this growth partner model. You need to do this, do this. No, literally, all you need to know is like the reason why the growth partner model is better than just a traditional agency is because the pricing model is a percentage of the upside. So you're not capped at 2K per month, okay? The reason why Hormozy is doing acquisition.com is because acquiring and owning companies is a more leveraged pricing mechanism than charging a monthly fee or charging a percentage. You literally own the productivity of the business. You own the profits. So you can start at charging retainers, then charging build and release, then charging a percentage, then eventually just own the fucking business of your clients. It is all a matter of leverage. I need you guys to stop looking at people online and be like, wow, they're so smart. They're so smart. No, this is just it's literally like physics. It's just understanding, okay, I'm doing this. I want to get a lot more of it without having to work infinitely harder. Okay, perfect. Find leverage. Find levers. Find levers to pull. Change your offer. Change your pricing mechanism. Acquire clients with content and just a little bit of ads, right? Literally, I'm going to put out this piece of content. It's going to be seen by thousands of people. That is leverage. That is leverage. That is literally it. You guys see me making more money than you? Just understand that I have more leverage than you. So your job isn't to be like, oh, Serge, what do I do? No. Become curious. Become smart about something. Learn how people are solving something and go build a business. And over time, add leverage. Pull little bit of levers in your business and start making a lot more money than you ever dreamed of making. Okay? But guys, time is of the essence. Time is the only reason why you should want to grow, because maybe you're like me. I did not want to live in a penthouse that I pay $9,000 a month. I did not want to drive this car and come out of the gym, the shoulders popping out, okay? When I'm like 60, when I'm 70, when I'm 80, like I didn't have the time. I generally don't. I think when I'm 60, I generally don't even want to talk business. I just want to live. I just want to have grandkids. I just want to be able to just stay back, maybe like smoke a cigar or drink a glass of wine and just be able to be there for my family. Because I don't want to be playing a money game when I don't want to be chasing money when I'm at that age. Okay? And all this took me 2020, I quit my job. I didn't know what I was doing. July 21st, July 2021, I found that appointment setting was a good service to sell. 4 months later, I ditched 30K a month because I wanted more leverage. A year later, I was making 300K, 500K a month, right? And in 2 years, we generated over 8 million, probably getting in close on $10 million. And I did not work harder. I did not become smarter. I just learned that you have to outrun time. You have to genuinely outrun time. Every single thing you do, ask yourself, how can I get more leverage? Not how can I work harder, not how can I acquire clients, but in every single function of your business, ask yourself, do I have the right amount of leverage to get everything I've ever dreamed of. Okay? Can you? If you can, this is the secret to business. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I'd love if you guys can send it to your friends, to your peers, to anyone. I want you to save this video. Every time you're like, hey, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, when business is going rough, when times are hard, I want you to come back and look at it and just understand that if you get the right leverage, you will always be a winner. And one thing that I want you guys to understand is own the leverage, build a team, build the content, do everything that is hard, and chase things that everyone else can't easily acquire. That's how you acquire leverage. Okay? Leverage exists in the boring work. Leverage exists in the things that's not sexy. Okay? This is the Growth Creator series. I'm gonna keep dropping. I'm probably gonna talk about the coaching model next. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. But guys, it's not complicated. It's just all about a matter of leverage. Love y'all. Bye-bye.